3,000 years ago, a young shepherd shows up to see the king and says he'll slay the giant. Saw no ad, position available, giant slayer wanted, must have previous experience. Had no resume with his last job in the killing business or references in his field, who anyway would never bleed anything bad. But if he knew this was his calling, and with God's help, he'd make history if the interview went well, how did he almost blow it? Rejected at first and nearly sent back to sheep. The sling, the stone, the giant's fall we all recall, but how David turned this upside-down interview right side up and got this killer job, well, that's what you'll now learn and remember, especially when you want to change directions or look for that dream job only to hear them tell you you've got no experience. What do you do if the choices are few? I'm Shlomo, among the last of the Mad Men copywriters to run the New York advertising world at the end of the glory days where my bosses could no longer fit into their sharkskin suits, had their fill of office romps, and half were already dying of lung cancer. Camels and Luckies were the cigarettes of choice. But the exceptional talent and the national campaigns and the big ideas scrolled on cocktail napkins. Now, that was something, until I chose another path. Now, along with selling products and services, I help people sell themselves, which is how I got the idea for this show. During my show, I ask you, how do we succeed and do God's will when everything's stacked against us? How do we find our calling? David shows us the way. Join me in my next performance. You'll hear the same tale I tell tourists who return home better able to sell themselves with a greater confidence and faith, and do God's will with more choices to pick from. Or as Rabbi Joseph Soloveitchik writes, the greatness of man, his dignity and his creativity is expressed in his freedom of will and his ability to choose. Isn't that about what life is, or with God's help, should be?